Hi guys, Harry here from the Art Gear Guide. Thanks very much for joining me today. This is just a quick video. This is not a review video or anything like that. It's more of a clarification video. So a while ago, I was receiving messages from people asking me if the 24 sets of colour pencils from Castle Art were different pencils, like a completely different pencil from the 72 set and the 120 set that they already sell. Obviously, I replied to the people who sent me these questions and answered their questions, but I thought maybe if there are people out there that think that this is a separate pencil altogether, it might be a good idea just to put a clarification video out there. And so Castle sent me these sets for me to do this video and just put it out there, and then it's there. So if you already know about this, or you know, you're well aware of the Castle Art pencils, maybe this video isn't for you. If you haven't already seen my review of the Castle Art colour pencils, I'll have a list or a link down below for the actual review that I've done. You can go across and take a look at that. So Castle Art have 10 what they call specialists sets, and they're broken down into 24 sets. Now, 5 of those are kind of like genre-based artwork, so like landscape, portrait, seascape, that type of thing. The other 5 are based around the works of 5 famous artists. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at these different sets, and I'll show you the colours that are inside each set so that you are aware of it. And in my opinion, Castle have done a really good job here of trying to select what they haven't done is just grab 24 colours from their 120 set and stuck it into a 24 set. So the first set that we're going to look at is the artist based ones. So the first one is the Monet set. As you can see, now it's also important to note here, with these artist ones, if you know anything about the actual artist like Monet done lots and lots of different types of art. And so what Castle are not doing is putting 24 colours in there and saying that you're going to be able to replicate every single artwork that Monet ever done. But the image that's on the front of the tin is off a particular art piece from the artist. So in this case here with the Monet set, it's the Water Lily Pond. Now that's a famous painting from Monet. As you can see, it's got a lot of greens and colours in it and stuff like that. It's a beautiful painting. And the colours that the Castle have put into there represents the image that's on the tin. So if you look at the tin, you can see that the colours that's on that image are going to be the colours that you're going to get inside the tin. Now, it's also important to note before we go on and take a look at any of the other colours in here as well. A lot of these artists created their art in paint, whether it was oils, acrylics, or watercolors, whatever. So it's slightly different doing it in pencils. This is just a representation of the colors that you're going to get. And Castle aren't saying that you're going to be able to produce this water lily creation with pencils, but you can do a good job with the colors that they've put inside it. The next artist up here that we're going to look at is Cezanne. Now, I didn't really know personally much about Cezanne, and I think of all of the artists in here, maybe 2 of them are widely known. And when I mean widely known is known to people that aren't artists or interested in art or anything like that. Some of the others are not so well known, and you might need to kind of like look them up a little bit. So in this next set, Cezanne, you can see there by the image on the tin that there's a lot of bold colours in here. Now, like I said, if you look through the catalogue of images of paintings that Cezanne has done, there is a wide variation of artwork that has been created by Cezanne. But the colours inside this 24 set replicate the image that you can see on the tin really, really well. So it gives you a quick idea as to the type of colours that you're going to get. And I think it's really good of a Castle to have done this, rather than just stick to a lot of companies do this putting them into like landscape, portraiture, and seascape, those types of categories, because they're quite easy and easily recognizable. And I think Castle have done a really nice job here with doing it with these famous artists, because not only is it interesting, but hopefully it'll show other young artists, it'll open their minds to different artists. Next up is Kandinsky. Kandinsky's a Russian artist, and another artist that I wasn't 100% sure on. I had to look up as well. But anyway, you can see there on the front of the tin, this is Kandinsky's Circles, a popular painting of Kandinsky's. And the colours that are inside the tin represent this piece beautifully. Nice bold colours, bright bold colours. They're the colours that you're going to get if you choose to get this particular set. So, and another thing as well, Castle, they do this right the way throughout all of their products. Inside the tin, they have these little pamphlets that help you do the artwork that's on the tin. Kind of like they break it down in a tutorial type pamphlet. They do it with all the artwork that's on their tins, the 120 set, the 72 set, everything. They have a little thing in there that allows you to write, as soon as you buy your tin, start working on a piece of artwork straight away. Next up is Pacelli. This is an Italian artist. Apparently, I think a lot of Pacelli's artwork is very pinnacle of the Renaissance art period. The piece that's on the front of here is the Birth of Venus, which is really, really famous piece of painting. And again, the colours that's inside this set here represent that particular image really, really well. Obviously, if you look through all of the catalogue of images from this particular artist's work, you're not going to be able to recreate them all, but the image that's on the tin you will be able to follow along with. Finally, probably as with the Monet, Van Gogh is one of the more popular artists that is in this group of 5. And the image that they've chose to put on here is the Starry Night, which is one of Van Gogh's most iconic. I know a lot of people are going to say, Harry, no, this is Van Gogh's most iconic. But it's definitely one of the paintings that Van Gogh is very much recognised for. If you'd seen this painting, you would know who done it. And a lot of people who are not in the art would more than likely recognise it. That's kind of like what I'm trying to refer to here. But you can see again from the images here that I'm showing you, the colours that are inside this are representative of the artwork that's on the tin. And again, inside this, you've got a little pamphlet which is going to help you recreate this with colour pencils. Bearing in mind that this artwork wasn't done with colour pencils, but you still will be able to recreate it with the colours that's in there. I just think this artist list that they've done is really, really interesting. I think it's educational as well for young people coming into colour pencils. They can buy a set of pencils, a 24 set, rather than having to go out and get the 72 or 120 set, and then they can get stuck into their own art project right away, have a little bit of tutorial with it in terms of the pamphlet that's inside, and try and recreate a really famous work of art. So I think it's really nice. Next up is the genre-based sets. So first up here we have the landscape set, and as you would imagine, nice greens, olive greens, a couple of blues in there, and some nice yellows and yellow ochres, browns. But again, there's only 24 colours in these sets, so you've got to be aware of the fact that they're putting 24 colour pencils in here. That does not necessarily mean you're going to be able to recreate every single landscape scene that you can imagine, because you may not be able to do that. But the image that they have in the tin is a great representation of what you can create with the pencils that are in there in that 24 set. Next up is the seascape. As you would imagine, lots of aquas and greens and blues, purples, that type of thing. But again, you know, it's very much down to the image that's on the tin. You're going to be able to create this type of image, and the little pamphlet that's inside will guide you along into recreating this image, because the images that are on these tins have been done by Castle Art's in-house artist with these pencils, so it is achievable. The portrait set is next. Again, the 120 set of Castle Art only has a certain number of like flesh tone colors in there, but you got to understand, when you're talking about portraiture, it's not just Caucasian skin. We're talking about all the colors of skin right across the world here that we're trying to replicate, and you'll be able to do that with this set. Nice, beautiful browns, rich browns, flesh tones here as well. Obviously, you got colors in here for eyes, like blues and greens and stuff like that. So it's a really nice set of portrait colors. Always bearing in mind, this is only a 24 set, so you are going to be a little bit limited, but again, it's all down to the image on the tin. Next up is this botanical set. I think with the botanical set, the image on the botanical set is really nice, but I think the colors that are inside here will allow you to expand much further than what the image that's on this tin. But again, you will be able to create this right off the bat. As soon as you buy this set, you'll be able to get the little pamphlet out, use the colors that's inside there, and create the image that's on the tin. And finally is the urban. So obviously we're talking buildings and architecture, that type of thing. So things are a little bit more muted, really, in this set. Greys, browns, that type of thing, darker greens, darkers, slightly more darker colors, but a really nice palette overall. And again, it's going to help you recreate this beautiful image on the front of the tin, which I'm not 100% sure where that image is. I think one of the things that Castle have done really well is, with all 10 sets inside these sets, in the pamphlets, it's not just about they haven't just put in there a tutorial on how to recreate the image on the set. They tell you a little bit about the artist, or the like, you know, in the case of Seascape, they try to educate you as an artist a little bit about the type of colors, why they've used those colors, that type of thing. And I think it's really good. I just think that, especially for younger artists or people that are brand new to colored pencils, when you buy a set of colored pencils, and you may not necessarily have in your head exactly what it is that you want to draw, but with these sets from Castle, not just these 10, but any of the sets, the watercolor pencils, the colored pencils, they're the ones that I've done, and the watercolors as well. You have a little booklet in there that is going to give you a project that you can get started with immediately. As soon as you open your set, you're going to be able to get on with something and learn a little thing or two along the way as well. In terms of, like, with the artists, you'll learn a little bit more about the actual artists that have created those works, and I think that's great. I think Castle are trying to make things a little bit more interesting whenever they are sending out their sets to people. I think they're putting a lot of thought into the actual products that they're sending out. They're not just sending out pencils, but it's kind of like they're sending out worksheets as well, and trying to get people involved in actually really using the products. So anyway, they're just my opinions, okay? This is not something that Castle have asked me to say or anything like that. I just think that what they've done is really good. I think it's quite unique that they have not just put out the landscape, seascape, portraiture and stuff like that. I think it's really nice that they have grabbed 5 different really famous artists and tried to incorporate their work into the sets. And like I say, they haven't just grabbed, 24 colours out of the 120 set and stuck them in a tin. They have really looked at it, because some of these 24 sets will have duplicate colours in them. So if you buy all 5 of the Castle Art Urban and botanical, portrait and seascape and landscape sets, you will get duplicates. If you want all 120 colours, then you're best going for the 120 set. These individual sets are they're individual sets, they're sets in their own right, and they are there for their own purpose, really. If you want, like I say, the 120 set, then that's the set you should go for. If you are interested in knowing, if you haven't already seen my review of the Castle Art colour pencils, I'll have a link for that down below. You can go across, take a little look at it, and know more about the actual pencils. But for now, this is just my clarification video on the specialist sets that Castle have created with their colour pencils, their premium soft touch colour pencils. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you all again next time. Bye.